Make sure no one's coming in. Chester traffic, Cub taking the active 17. We'll exit the pattern here to the east, Chester. Okay. We're going to stay aligned in the center, which you can't really see it, so we just kind of have to know where the center is. We'll look on the both sides, make sure we're equal distances. Hold the stick all the way back. When we add power, we'll release the stick picture to neutral, and then just give it a little tug up. Okay? Okay. Here we go. Release it to neutral. Kind of give it just a little nudge here. We're already at flying speed, and now we can just slightly lift off. Okay? And then we're just going to climb out at 60. Remember where the 60 miles per hour is there? Yeah. This is where you want to have your hand on the throttle, one hand on the throttle there. You're pushing it forward. And so remember, to get 60, it's going to be, if you're going too fast, you'll just pitch it up a little bit. If you're going too slow, you'll pitch it down. All right? Okay. So you got the control there. Let's turn our volume down just a little bit there. A little too loud. Okay. All right, so you pick our speed there by holding that 60. So pitch it up just a little bit. It's not going forward. Yeah, that's okay. That's as far as it goes. Oh no, you pitch up the stick a little bit. Oh, okay. So you pitching it up will make us go slower, but it'll make us climb more. Okay. That's what we're trying to do. We'll take it up to like 1,500 feet. So see right now you can read that altimeter. It says 1,200 feet. Yeah. Now it's 1,250. So once we get to 15, then we'll level off. Okay. And then as you're flying, you're just looking to see, do you have to make a correction with the wing? There's one wing down, like right now, see how I push it down? How do you correct it? Move that aileron over here. Alright, now we're at 1,500. Well, now we'll bring the power down. Now we're looking here at the tachometer, the RPM gauge. We want it just below the green. Right there, about 2150. Okay. Now we're going to let it kind of settle in at about 75 miles an hour. So look, about 75? Alright. So there we are. Let's do a couple exercises to remember how to fly. Why don't we go and fly out towards Old Saybrook there? Okay. Pretty smooth up here, huh? What? I said it's pretty smooth up here, isn't it? Yeah. Chester traffic, Cub is departing the area to the south. We're 1,700, Chester. Once we get a little closer there, we'll do some more like turns. But right now, you can just try to just steer us generally in that direction. Yeah. Boy, I hope it's this smooth Monday morning. Remember last time you dropped the wreath with me? Yeah. So this time Chloe's going to come do it. We're always looking out the window to see if there's anybody around. It's a nice day. People could be flying. Well, hopefully they would be flying. Alright, so let's go ahead and just practice a couple turns real quick. So, remember the basic way to turn here is we're going to use our feet and the stick. Okay? So if we want to go, well first let me demonstrate one thing. If we don't use our feet, it's going to be uncoordinated. So if you see that thing in the middle, that the ball's moving around. So if we don't use our feet, if we just go like this, see how that ball is all over the place? Yeah. And you can feel it too, right? It just feels awkward? Yeah. So that's where we're going to use our feet. So If I want to go to the left, I'll push on the left foot and I'll move the left stick just a little bit. Now the ball stays in the middle, right? Yeah. It feels good. And then when I want to roll out of that, same thing. It's the rudder and the stick. Okay. And it's nice and smooth. See how nice and smooth that is? Then when I want to roll out of that turn again, push on that foot and the stick. See how the stick doesn't have to move a lot? Even if we go tighter, the stick still isn't moving that much. Yeah. So, alright. So you try something here. You can do a couple turns back and forth, or you can do a turn all the way around.
Chester traffic, Grumman's over S6, 1500 feet, inbound, landing 17 Chester.
Hey Grumman, do you have the yellow carbon sign there?
Negative.
Alright, we are at 1,800. We're actually adjacent to S6, but closer to Westbrook here.
Okay, I'm going to be dropping down then. I'll go in at 1,300.
Okay, south side. Yeah, we're southbound here, headed towards Cold Sabre.
Okay, 614.
So he's back there somewhere. Okay. Pretty good, huh? Alright. Let's do this maneuver where we'll come over here. See the little lake pond thing over there? Yeah. Let's try to turn around that. So why don't you go ahead and just fly a circle around it. You're going to just kind of stay outside of it, so you're just going to do a nice big circle.
3 miles to the southeast. I'll be entering on a 45 for about an hour with 17 Chester. Chester, Government on the 45 for left now with 17 Chester.
Alright, so a little less bank, so you don't turn too much into it. Just fly a nice wide circle around it. There you go, now turn a little more here. Try to put yourself between the highway down there and the lake. As you're turning, you'll give it just a little bit of back pressure. Not much, just a little bit. Alright, a little less turn there. The sun and I here. Oh, there you go.
Chester's coming to space. What's that, Chester?
Oh, so you gotta pull back just a little bit. Yeah, pretty good.
No traffic, SPX, Alpha.
Should we go down a little lower and go by the beaches.
Full level Foxtrot is turning downwind for runway 24 corner traffic.
We'll decrease our power a little bit. We're going to pull this black knob. You'll hear it. You hear how the engine kind of goes down? What that's doing is it's redirecting warm air. It's redirecting warm air into the carburetor. Warm air is less dense, so it actually decreases power. But what it does, it prevents us from getting this thing called carburetor icing. These aren't really the conditions for it, but it's just a precaution that we always do. And there's an old Saybrook. Know what you're looking at there?
There's Walmart.
Yeah, there's Walmart. There's the shop.
Oh, yeah.
Monkey Farm, you can see the corner there. Main Street. North Main. And what's the main drag there?
This is the house, our old one.
Yeah, there's our old house down there.
Someone's home.
Your old middle school. Oh, I guess I shouldn't have done that. There we go. Got this noise canceling headset. The battery's getting low.
Oh.
It still works, but what happens when it stops? It starts getting this louder noise. All right, let's go turn over around the lighthouse there.
That one?
Yep.
Okay.
So you steer us over there. And when we're doing this, you can see, if you're looking at the altimeter there, you can see we're just slowly getting lower. Putting the power down a little bit more. Not doing anything aggressive. That's one thing about this airplane is everything can be pretty chill.
Yeah.
We don't have to do anything fast, anything aggressive, just nice and smooth.
I want a boat. Look at that.
That'll be fun. Alright, so let's go turn over around there. We'll put this back in here. Good old Catherine Hepburn's place down there. Okay, so let's turn there. Do a right turn. Let's go along the beach there.
Okay.
Right, so turn a little tighter. More bank, more rudder.
My tank traffic down in forward 19 for 10 miles northeast field, maneuvering for airport
Oh boy, that's right off that water, huh?
Yep.
Let's turn a little closer to it here.
fly up to Watch Hill in this.
What's that?
I wonder if we could fly to Watch Hill in Rhode Island.
I don't know where that is. Well, I know where Rhode Island is, but I don't know where Watch Hill is.
Oh.
What is that?
It's just like a beach and it's... I don't know. I'll show you when we get home.
Oh, the beach might be obscured a little bit by the glare on the water. I think what we'll do is if you come out a little bit farther, so we're kind of to the left of the beach.
Okay.
Look down there and see who's down at the beach today. It should be a really nice beach day on Monday. Water will still be freezing cold, but it'll be warm outside.
Yeah.
People will want to go in the water. It'll be in the mid-80s. They'll quickly get cooled off, because the water will not be that warm. Well, it looks like people are at the town beach. Nobody's at Harvey's beach.
Is that Harvey's over there?
Yeah, I guess there's a couple people there, but Harvey's is the one that's fun when the tide is out.
Yeah.
Once the tide comes in, it's not that great.
Yeah. You can see all the sand, dump, whatever you call them.
Yeah. You want to go up to good speed? Go do some landings over there?
Is that over there?
Yep. Just fly up the water. Fly up the river. So you see the altimeter here. So what's our altitude right now?
1,500?
Yep. Let's go ahead and just stay there. So that'll be your task, is to fly up the river, maintain 1,500 feet, and try to maintain our speed there of about 75 miles an hour.
Okay.
So if it looks like we are going down, that means we're also going to be going faster, right?
Okay.
And if we're going up, that means we're going slower. So that's how you'll judge whether or not you got to add some back pressure or no,
Well, we're above 1,500, but we're at the right speed.
Yep. So that's fine on the speed. You could pitch up, or you could kind of pitch down just a little bit. That would speed us up a little bit. It's okay if we go a little faster, or even a little higher, but we'll just kind of push ourselves back down to that 1,500. It's not that there's anything against going to 1,600. It's just a task so you can get used to holding an altitude.
Okay.
There's nothing wrong with any of those altitudes. Just something to learn how to do.
Is good speed all the way that way, or is it closer?
Yeah, it's a ways up the river.
Okay.
But we can go on the other side of the river, so why don't you go ahead and fly over to the other side. Then we'll come up from that side. I'll switch to good speed here. Well, hopefully we'll get a good recording on the Big is looking good. So the thing with this camera, with the iPhones, is if I flip it around to where your normal camera is filming, it's super shaky. And it's like any iPhone I've used. But if I use the camera that's on the front of the camera, or on the front of the phone, where if you're trying to take selfies, that camera for some reason has really good image stabilization.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is.
But it's not the better camera, it's just less shaky.
There's something about their settings, I don't know, but I actually was thinking about getting a GoPro. I was going to get a GoPro before Monday, but what I may do is I'll get maybe my iPhone, my old one, and maybe get Chloe's iPhone, so we can record flying, but also record Chloe throwing the wreath.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Maybe we can get Mom to go and get there early enough to see us with Ethan. I don't know if she'll do it.
Yeah.
Because your thing in Old Saybrook isn't until, or in Westbrook isn't until like 10:30, right?
Yeah, but are we going to the Ward picnic?
Yeah, but that's not until 1:45.
Okay.
For some reason, they're not starting at noon. I don't know why. in here anymore. Wish I could get. I'll have to put a map back in here. Then you can start knowing where we're at.
Yeah.
I mean, I know where we're at, but you gotta know where we're at. So this is old style flying. So we navigate looking at a map or what we know. So this is, that's where we dropped the reef, is down there to the left. Right? There's the Essex docks. That was fun when we did it a couple years ago. I think it was 2019 because 2020 obviously was COVID.
Yeah.
So I think 2019 was the last time we did it. Alright, so let's fly more to the right here because we don't want to be in the traffic of anybody taking off from the airport.
Okay.
We'll come over here over the wooded area. That'll put us in the right position to get into the traffic pattern. So keep flying a little more to the right here. If you're looking at your compass here, we want to be flying, well, I guess the compass has some deviation for the moment, but it's going to be about that 30 degrees. Okay, so keep turning just a little bit here so you're getting 30 degrees. That's the 3. Okay, so old compasses like that have a lag when you're moving around and you change velocity. So you have to wait for it to the west and down to the field, just recover.
I did not keep my altitude.
No? Alright, so if we want to come down a little bit, well, we got to come down a lot here, we'll pull this black one, never pull the red one. Pull the black one. So hold that 30 degrees again, so we need to turn a little more to the right. Then we'll just kind of let it come back down to our 1500. Then we're getting closer to the airport there too. So you make small corrections. Every time you try to correct, right, it moves. So the airport's over there, but we want to come over here so we're free of the pattern. And we're not going to interfere, and then we can enter it the right way. So if you're looking at that compass, if you wanted to go from 30 degrees to 60 degrees, you'd be turning more to the right. So it's kind of opposite of what the compass is showing you.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to turn to the north, even though it's to the right on the compass, you would turn left. Okay. Now we can turn towards the airport. So now let's go to a compass heading of 270. Well, not even that far. Let's say 290. Good speed traffic. Cub is about 3 miles to the southeast on a 45. Entered left downwind for 14. Good speed. Okay. So where do you think you're at right there?
32.
32. So we'll go a little more. Go a little more to the left. That's going to bring us closer to maybe 30 or 290. Nope, that's good. So stop that heading there for a second. This is actually pointed the right direction. So when that settles up, oh, we're just a little shy. So we're about 280 here. Not quite all the way west, but we're getting close. We want to come down a lot more, so we're going to do a little less power here because we want to come down to 1,000 feet. I know we're kind of going straight into the sun here, but...
Heavy traffic, West Street, 150, come out southwest, and down, left down, and people over here.
We'll do a little less power here, and we'll see what will start coming down. So the airport is dead ahead of you. trying to point basically towards midfield, so we'll actually come to the right just a little bit here. Right about there. See our altitude now. Now we're back down to our 1500 just about. But we want to be at 1,000 feet once we're right alongside the airport.
Good speed traffic. Cub is on a 1 mile 45 at our left downwind for 14. Good speed.
We're looking for anybody else. Alright, speed is good, altitude is fine. Alright, are you able to see the airport yet there?
Yeah, I can see it.
What we're going to try to do is if you look over here at the wing strut, you see the horizontal strut?
Yeah.
That's called a jury strut. We're going to put that right on top of the runway. That's going to tell us that we're the right distance away from the airport. We're the perfect spot.
Okay.
One of the reasons why that's a perfect spot is if the engine ever quit, I know for a fact that if that jury strut is sitting on top of the runway, I can make it back to the airport.
Okay.
So it's a good spot to be. Okay, so here we are. There's the airport. We can kind of turn to the right a little bit here. We're at about 1,100 feet. We want to come down to 1,000, but we're okay because we'll be down to 1,000 feet just in a second.
Good speed traffic. Cub entering left downwind 14. Good speed.
Okay, so we're at 1,000, just about. I'll go ahead and put the carpet in for a second. So now, as you look out there to the window, you can see where that jury strut is.
Too high?
It's a little bit higher. But it's getting pretty close, right about there. See?
Yeah.
For now, we're right about on the runway there. Okay, now we're in midfield. So we'll pull the carburetor heat again. Okay. And we'll start working our way down. So you just follow me along. So we got our RPM here. We're about, what, 17 or something? We're adding some back pressure here. Oh, I hit that. It hit that little camera thing. Right before we get to these.
Good speed traffic. Cub turning left base for 14. Good speed.
And now we want to start coming down. So we'll start bringing it below 1,500 RPM. I'm going to add this trim until it's all the way back. And we can see that little bead. Look down to your left. That little bead right there. Moving that all the way back. Alright?
Yes.
What's our speed? About a little over 60 here?
Yeah.
I'll have you move to the right just a little bit just so I can see the speed. Put an idle here.
Good speed traffic. Cub's turning base to final 14. Good speed.
A little bit of power. All along here. You're going a little fast there, so we'll go ahead and just bring the power back. Hold the stick pressure just where it is, and it'll just start sinking. Okay.
Yes.
I'll add in a little bit of power there just because back up, and then we start slowly moving that stick all the way back, all the way back. Look at that. Cool, huh? Alright, you ready to do one?
Yep.
Okay. Make sure we got full control before we start doing anything else. So we got control here. We'll turn it around. So now you look at those knobs to our bottom right there, the black one that we pulled.
Yeah.
So push that all the way in. That's our carburetor heat. Okay, so now taxi is back there. Pop this open.
Good speed traffic, Cub taxi back 1-4, good speed.
Okay, so you're controlling it, steering it on the ground. Same thing as we did before, just now you're doing it on the runway. We'll slow a little bit. This next time we can actually land on the grass here.
Okay. Gotta get those geese to move.
We're gonna go on the grass this side.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not that side. Oh, wait, what a smooth evening to fly. I think we had any bumps. Alright, good. Okay, so here we're going to do a nice tight turnaround. We're going to do brake and rudder. Push on both of those at the same time. Line ourselves back up. Line up on that center line here. Alright, so now we do a quick check to make sure everything's okay. We're going to move our trim just down here, so why don't you go ahead and crank that for a second.
What am I doing?
Just going to roll this until that bead comes right in the middle. Okay, that's about fine. Okay, so we'll check everything. Altimeter, we're just above sea level, which is correct. Above the 0, right?
Yep.
Temperature is good. See, our temperature finally came up. That's the left one. Before it was pretty cold. Obviously, we don't have any airspeed. RPM is fine. Oil pressure is good. Look over there at the right. In the green there. All right. And our two knobs here, the red, the mixture, and the black are repeater in. And the door is locked. All right. We're good to go. Okay, so I'll help keep it straight. You're just going to do the back pressure stuff. So remember, the first thing you're going to do is back all the way back.
Okay.
We're going to push the power all the way forward, and then basically, once the power is all the way forward, by the time you reach that point, you just kind of go neutral.
Okay.
And then give it like 1 or 2 seconds, and then just a little bit of back pressure. We'll lift right off, and then we're going to climb out at 60, okay? Okay, so you hold the back pressure. Here we go.
Just good speed traffic, Cub. 952 taking the area active, will be staying close pattern here, 414, good speed.
Okay, here we go. Hold power, keep the stick back, I'll keep us straight. Okay, now bring it to neutral. A little quicker here. Yeah, so just a little quicker to go to neutral if we don't want to take off too steep. Okay? Now you just got to decide the back pressure you needed to hold that 60. Okay? And at the same time, I'm going to introduce something new to you, which is that you got to push on your right foot just a little bit. Okay? There's torque. That's also why the stick is kind of going to the left here. So the engine has torque, so we counteract the torque by pushing on our right foot. We got torque, we got a slipstream, we got this thing called P-factor, the asymmetric loading of the propeller, which I'll explain on the ground sometime. All those things basically just mean hold the right rudder.
Okay.
Now they have a new rule here that's noise abatement that says well, they want us to be at 1,000 feet before we turn. So we're not going to turn yet. We're going to wait until we get to 1,000. And that's also the altitude we want to be at. Now one thing I've noticed as you're flying is you kind of push on the left stick, so kind of try to keep it neutral. And you can tell by looking out the window at the wingtips if you're turning. Okay? So it looks like we're getting close to 1,000 here. Yep. So now we'll bring our power down. Okay, so go ahead and make your turn to the left.
Good speed traffic. Turning left crosswind, 14, good speed.
A little less power here. We gained a little 100 feet more than we wanted. Okay, now roll out. So right rudder, right stick. Okay. And then right about here, go ahead and turn left again. This is our downwind leg. Now we're going to parallel the runway.
Good speed traffic. Turning left downwind, 14, good speed.
A we'll go ahead and pull our carburetor heat here just because we need to come down a little more. We got a little more altitude than we needed because you're nice and light. Did the day ever come that you fly this alone? You'll be a rocket ship.
Oh boy.
But, I don't know if you'll do it, but if you do, we'll climb pretty steep if you want to. All the power in the world. Alright, so let's slowly come back down to that 1,000 feet. So we'll bring the power down here. And then you got to line us up so that we're going to parallel the runway. So let's kind of come to the right a little bit here. I'll bring the power down a little bit. Good. A little less. I'm going to let it level out here. And now we're at 1,000 feet. Normally this is where we would pull the carburetor heat, midfield, but I did it before just because we got higher.
Okay.
Alright, so you're going to have more of this landing this time. We'll land on the grass to the right. Right side of the runway. Okay?
Okay.
Get a little less power here. I'll add in some trim. So just kind of slowly add it in. This is going to help the back pressure. A little less power here. We'll go to 15. Go ahead and make a turn to the left.
Good speed traffic. Cub turning in the left base. 14, good speed.
Oh, what's our speed here?
660.
Fine, yep. Turn to the left a little more. Still a little higher here, so we'll go to neutral, or to final here, not neutral. Basically, I found for this airport, when we turn our final leg here, we want to be about 400 feet. So we're at, what, 500 now?
Yeah.
So we're getting close. Okay, so slowly start turning towards that.
Good speed traffic. Cub turning short final. 14, good speed.
We're at 400.
Okay. Very good. Is fine, so we're going to come over just a little bit. We want to be to the right of the runway, remember?
Oh yeah.
Alright, so remember, you're judging speed. I'm going to go to idle. You're judging speed, and then using back pressure to determine. So if you're going too fast, you'd add back pressure. Going too slow, you would nose forward.
And I'm trying to keep 60?
Yep.
Okay.
And then just a little bit of power just because I want to clear that fence just fine. Okay. Let it come down a little more, so let the nose come down. Okay, now we're slowing down. Once we get close, we're no longer looking at that airspeed.
Woo!
That's just the grass.
Okay.
That's not like a smooth spot over here. The nice thing about the grass is that just kind of forgiving for looking the land. That's a bumpy grass. So I think I had you looking at the airspeed too at the end when you didn't need to.
Yeah.
As you get close, we're no longer looking at it. Now we're just feeling the airplane. As we're doing this thing called a round out and then the flare. That's where we're pulling the stick back. So we're stopping our descent rate. Like, that's midway here. We're going all the way back just as we're getting close to the ground.
Okay.
Alright? Alright, so push that black knob in again. Our carburetor heat. Oh, let's taxi on down. Doing that, I'm going to switch glasses. I think we got time for one more, and then we'll have to head back
Okay.
where the sun is.
I didn't wear the right shoes for this. Keep getting caught.
What kind of shoes do you have?
Converse.
Right. You want light, thin shoes. Very flexible and very narrow. You don't have to go quite as steep here, so just kind of see how we're at a diagonal here. That's about as steep as you got close to this side, so now you can go to the other side.
Okay.
Go right about there. This is about as steep of an angle as you need. So you're just trying to see ahead of you.
Yeah.
That's all you're trying to do. We could double double check. We can see the windsock up there. So the wind is going the direction we want. It's straight down the runway. We're flying into the wind. Okay, let's turn around here. We're going to push our right foot on the brake and the rudder pedal. Turn around here. Line back up. Push on the left foot here. Self back up. Alright, let's check everything again. So we got those two in. Right? Yep. Okay, we're going to move this knob up to neutral. Then we'll go a little forward just because you're lighter in the front. Okay. Temperature's good, altitude is good, airspeed, nothing there, we're not moving. RPM's fine, and oil pressure's good. Okay, and these two knobs are in. You can also see that gray knob there. Pull on it. Okay, but it shouldn't come out. So that's your primer. That should be in and locked. Okay. And the door is locked. Okay. So same kind of takeoff we did before. This time though, once the power's up, remember to go forward. Okay. You're just releasing. Because otherwise what happens, this plane's got so much power, it'll just take off. Okay. It'll take off too steep. So we don't want to take off too slow. It's more of the issue is too slow. Okay. So we'll just go to neutral, and then let it it'll actually just kind of levitate, and then you can just give it just a little bit of back pressure. Yeah. Alright? Okay.
Good speed traffic, Cub 68952, we're on the active here, 14, close left traffic, good speed.
Here we go. All the way back. Okay, now go to neutral. Okay, and then just a little bit of back pressure, just enough to lift us off. And now look at that airspeed indicator. Now you decide how much pitch we need, alright? And remember, you're also pushing on your right foot just a little bit. Yeah. Okay? We'll try to stay over kind of the river, so you'll kind of just doing a little bit of a right turn, not much. Okay, so watch that wing there. So it's either you or it's the wind, but something's pushing over to the left, so just kind of keep that wing over there. Could be the wind. We're going to bring it all the way up to 1,000 feet, and then we'll make our turn. Alright, so keep that, remember how it keeps going to the left, so keep that wing over. Alright, we've approached it here, we'll go down, so now you can push the nose forward as the power's coming down. That way we don't climb any higher. Okay, go ahead and turn to the left. We're just going to turn exactly 90 degrees and let that nose come forward a little more here.
Good speed traffic, Cub's turning left, crosswind for 14, good speed.
Yeah, it still wants to climb up. Yeah. Plenty of power here, so we'll go a little less power here. Let's start working our way back down to 1,000. Go ahead and turn again here. Just going to go around this field. Turn a little tighter here so we can parallel the runway here in a minute.
Good speed traffic, Cub's turning left down, 114, good speed.
Okay, now you're almost down to your altitude again. Alright, so come to the right just slightly. Come a little more to the right here. This seems like there's a couple bumps over here, huh? Yeah. They're pretty small though. Okay. Now we're midfield. We actually got slow that time. A little more carburetor heat. You'll see now here we're at 900 almost. That's okay. Then we'll start slowing it down again. Now as we're doing that, we're kind of adding just a little bit of back pressure, and that's going to help slow us down. I'll start adding in this trim here. A little less power here. 1500 seems to be good. 14 there. Okay, turn to left here.
Good speed traffic, I'm turning left base 14, good speed.
Alright, so we're still a little high, so we'll go to idle. Then you don't want to let it dive, so you just kind of hold just enough back pressure to hold about 60, 65. Okay, we'll shoot for the grass again. Altitude is alright. We'll add in just a little bit of power here.
Good speed traffic, Cubs on short final 14, good speed.
Okay, so we're looking at our airspeed now, but pretty soon we're not going to. So about the time when we're just getting real close to the end of the runway, that's when you're just kind of looking out the window, just feeling it. And if you're coming down too fast, we're at idle here. This is about the last time we look at the airspeed. Okay. Now we start holding that back pressure, and we're going to just slowly start adding it in, right? So add in a little more, add in a little more, and then get it all the way back, all the way back. Perfect. Hold that back. You got it.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah. That bouncing isn't you. That's just the grass. But that's what you want to do is just keep holding it back while it's bouncing along. Because what happens when you're holding it back like that, it's keeping control because it's allowing you to steer with the rudder if you need. Alright? Pretty cool, huh? You can make some pretty good landings. So when we do that on the pavement, it's pretty sweet. So now we'll go over to Chester. We'll see if we can squeeze in one or two before the sun goes down.
Okay.
Alright. Now let's recheck everything. I'll let the window open. Push that black one in. Okay. Alright, you're steering here. Everything's fine. Don't get too steep on the steering, and I'll make a call here.
Good speed traffic, Cub is back taxiing 14, good speed.
One of these days, I think they're going to level that or flatten that grass. Imagine they'll do it. There's another airport. Have I ever taken you to Salmon River yet?
I don't remember that, but you could have.
They got really nice grass. It's really smooth. I mean, it's not like as smooth as the pavement, but
yeah,
it's pretty dang smooth. They did. They spent a lot of time. They roll it. So I got all this drainage built into it. Like as far as sand, the top level is a mix of sand, soil, so that it doesn't get all spongy. Alright, so we'll come over to the right here just a little bit, and then we'll do one hard left here. So go ahead and you do the hard left, push on this left foot as hard as you can. Add in just a little bit of power here. That'll allow us to turn. See how easy that is? Right? Very good, and we'll straighten out. Okay. Now you'll check everything again.
Temperature, altitude. Okay.
Yeah, and one last thing is down here on the left. We want to get our trim back to neutral. Let's record it an hour and 30 seconds.
An hour? Just like for an hour?
Yeah. Alright. Ready?
Yep.
Good speed traffic, Cub taking the active 14, I'll be doing a departure here to the southwest towards Chester. Good speed.
Okay, ready? Back pressure. Oh, now I want you to start using the throttle too. So put your hand up there. So go ahead and push it forward. Keep that back stick. Once it's all the way forward, now go to neutral. I'll keep us straight. Now add in just a little bit of that back pressure, not much at all. Okay. Now you you just judge how much back pressure you need. So maybe just a little less there. That's right, I need to move the trim a little bit because you're lighter. Go a little forward. That'll make it easier for you. Alright, so let's climb. We're going to do 60 again. You set the back pressure for 60. Yep. A little bit of bumps there, huh? Now you can turn slightly to the right while we're towards Chester, so let it climb just a little more at 60, which is just having a little more back pressure. Now what we're going to do is we're going to fly towards the Beta's house, because they're in the perfect spot to where we make a turn. So they're at the sand pits, and you can kind of see the sand pit. You see it over there?
Yeah.
So turn towards that. A little more to the right here. And we're going to keep climbing. A little more back pressure there. We're going to keep climbing until we get to 1,400 feet.
Good speed traffic. Cub is party the area to the south. Good speed.
Okay, so just keep that back pressure in. Otherwise it'll just cruise really fast. Okay, so there's our 1,400 coming up. Okay, we'll bring our power down. Go ahead and let the nose come down. We're bringing our power down until it's just below the green again. And what's our speed now? 75 or so?
Yeah, almost 80.
Okay, we'll slow down a little more here. Okay. Let's go back over to Chester here. Now, can you see Chester Airport?
Yeah.
Not very easy to see because we got that beacon there, right? That's the white and green one.
So do we need to turn this way or this way? Well, we land this way, right?
Yeah, we'll probably land pointed towards the shoreline. But I'll check the wind here in a second. We'll see.
Okay.
Visibility more than 1 Sky conditions clear below 12,000.
Can I take a picture really quick?
17 Celsius. Dew point 7 Celsius. Altimeter 302. Inches of mercury. Chester Airport automated weather observation 5 coolers 0 at 3 knots.
I can't even hear what it's saying on the direction.
Nope.
Well, something's up with that. Well, we'll just see if there's anybody else coming around. So technically, Chester, the calm wind runway is 3-5. But what we can do is we know what the wind has been doing elsewhere. We know when we left, we departed 1-7, and we know over there at good speed that it's favoring 1-4, which is about the same direction. That means the wind is coming from the south. So when we say that the 1-4, that means 140 degrees, or 1-7 is 170 degrees.
Okay.
And remember, the south is 180 degrees. So right now, see, we're pointed at 210, 210 degrees. That's our heading. We're heading 210 degrees. So if the wind was coming from 210, that means it's coming at you from 210 degrees. That part can get confusing, trust me.
Yeah.
It confuses many of pilots, especially student pilots.
Especially what?
Especially student pilots. They have a hard time. Even regular pilots, you can confuse us. We just aren't thinking straight.
Yeah.
Okay, so our airspeed and altitude is good, right?
Yeah.
There we are. You can text Kyra and tell her you're flying over her house. We're going to go right over. We'll go to the left a little bit, and then we'll go to the right, and that'll put us right over her house. So there's to the right. You can see the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
Chester traffic. Cub is entering the 3 mile 45 to enter the left downwind for 17 Chester.
Now there's their house. Alright, so why don't you go ahead, you got this, make a turn to the right, turn towards the airport. So you see the airport over there off the wing to the right? So go ahead and turn right now, which is about 90 degrees. 90 degrees to the right. Looks like we're getting low there, add a little back pressure here. Bring us back up to 1400. Get a cool sunset there.
Yeah.
Alright, let's turn, we want to point right in the airport. So point right towards the, you see the airport there?
Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah.
I think you were looking at something else. No, we'll point right at it, and I'll point towards midfield. We'll fly this for just a second, and then we're going to turn towards the lake.
Okay.
Remember, there's this imaginary pattern in the air that we're flying. Good?
Chester traffic, Cubs entering the left downwind for 17 Chester. Chester.
Okay, so, remember like before, we want that wing strut, that jury strut that's on our left to be right on top of the runway. You're going to maneuver the airplane so that we're just that same distance away. Okay? So we're going to parallel the runway. Good. Well, that's about right, huh? Okay.
On the topic, Speed 958 Victor 10 to the southwest, it's down on a 45 to the downwind for runway 24.
Okay, so I just pulled our carburetor heat because we're midfield. Once we get to about where the lake is, that's Cedar Lake down there, that's where we're going to turn left, okay?
Okay.
So we'll start bringing our power down. We can start coming down. We'll do the same thing here, except this time we're going to land on the pavement. And then a little bit of back, or back trim here. We're letting the airplane slow down. Alright, let's go ahead and make a turn here to the left. That's our base leg. I'll show you when we get home, or even when we land, part the airplane away. I'll show you the different legs of the traffic pattern. And you'll be making radio calls. Okay, so we'll go a little lower here, a little less power. Go to 1500. When we turn, we want to be a lot lower actually. When we turn over this road that's to the left, we want to be about 900 feet.
Okay.
We'll let this airplane come down. Okay, so what's our altitude now?
Almost, that's like 15.
We're getting close. 1,000.
Oh, 1,000.
Yep. Looking at the one that's moving a little here. Alright, so now we're at 900 feet. Add in just a little bit of power here to hold that altitude for a second. Let's turn towards the runway here. Remember, our speed needs to stay above 60.
Okay.
Just for a little bit.
Good speed traffic, Chester traffic, Cubs turning short final 17 Chester.
Okay, so we actually can slow it to 60. I mean, technically we can actually go to 55. So you got to control that speed here. And we'll be looking down the runway here. Add in just a little bit of power here. Just going to get a little farther. I don't like trees. Airplanes don't belong in trees. Once we're a little farther along here, I'll pull the power off. This is just kind of pulling us along. Alright. Now we're no longer looking at the airspeed. Now we're just judging if we're sinking too much. That's how much we pull back on the stick. So add a little more pressure. And then all the way back. Look at that! Sweet, huh? Yeah, I'll keep us straight. I think we got, you want to do one more?
Sure.
Alright, so I got the brakes here. We'll turn off.
My butt's getting numb.
Oh, yeah, this airplane is not made for traveling. That's why. I think, well, since I'm buying into it now, that's pretty much a done deal. There's going to be a couple things I'm going to do. I think one thing I'm going to do is improve the seat cushions.
Yeah.
Find the best material for your butt. For me, I can't go more than an hour and a half in this. After about an hour and a half, my butt's numb. And you get more numb in the front seat than the back. The back seat has a little better cushioning. Like, my butt's not numb yet.
Yeah.
But if I was in your seat, I would be numb.
Yeah.
Alright, so remember, you're steering here. I steered for you, now you're steering.
Okay.
Push that in. Are you able to see okay with your sunglasses on? I switched to my regular glasses.
I can see fine.
Slow it down a little bit here. See this plane over here with the twin boom?
Yeah.
There's actually 2 engines on it. Let's call it a Skymaster. When I was a teenager, the place I worked for, the flight track, that's what one of the airplanes they flew, and I got to fly in that a lot.
Oh, really?
A very unique airplane.
That's cool.
Used it in Vietnam for other purposes, for surveillance purposes. And actually, I think in Vietnam they even mounted 2 missiles on it, the wings. More like bazooka missiles. More like major missiles for a fighter. It was like, oh, if you see some enemy, go ahead and shoot out. That's all I had was 2 missiles. Alright, so we got one more, I think, before the sun's going to be too low for us.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do a quick check here. So let's get our first to start here. So it's good to start in a direction. So move that up. Or use your other hand. We're going to go a little forward to neutral, remember, because you're a little lighter. Yeah, that'll be fine. Okay, let's check our next stuff. What's our temperature? Good. Altitude, you can move it just a little bit to 415. So that just means the pressure's changed since we left. Other way. Right about there. Yep. Okay. Pressure's good. Oil pressure. Yep, that's on the right. You were right. You were pointing at it.
Yeah.
Yep. Pull on the gray knob. That's locked. The other 2 knobs are in.
Yep.
Door is locked. Alright, everything's good to go.
Chester traffic, Cub's taking the active 17, close left traffic one more time, Chester.
Let me put that back here.
Yeah.
You have contacts in, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Mine are prescription. Okay. So let's go ahead and steer the plane. You got the plane here. So you steer us over here on the center
So
line.
I'm going that, okay.
Yep. I don't want to go over the edge. Push more on your right foot here. As you're turning, you're going to be looking to the left, actually. We're just looking to make sure no one's coming in. That's going to give you the best view. Because they're not going to be coming from that way.
Yeah.
Right? They're going to be coming from where we just came. Alright, let's line back up. Now you can't see the center line, so you're just judging looking on the left and the right.
Sure.
That you're the same distance away, and then you know you're on the center.
Okay.
Okay? Alright, so pull back on the stick here. And on the throttle. Alright, let's start pushing it forward. All the way forward, all the way push more. Okay, now release the pressure on the stick so it's neutral. And now just give us one little nudge to lift off. Okay? Alright. And then you got speed control there. So you definitely have a left turn tendency.
Yeah.
It's natural. It's because you're using your right hand, and it's natural for you to push like this.
Okay.
So you just got to think about it and don't do that. That's the only way to do it. That's why I tell people, just kind of think, okay, I'm doing it, so I got to stop doing it. And you can look out the window and you can look at the wings to see if you're level, right?
Yeah.
And as soon as it's just natural, you'll just naturally know. Alright, well, we're plenty high, so let's keep turning here. We're going to turn on our crosswind leg.
Chester traffic, Cub turning left crosswind 17, Chester.
And Chester traffic, Skyline 9, take a Juliet, 10 of the southeast, gonna enter 45, left downwind, 17, Chester.
Alright, and just go level here for a second, and then you know when to turn towards the lake.
Okay.
Okay? And we'll go ahead and bring the power down so we don't get more than 1400. Go ahead and turn towards the lake.
Chester traffic, Cub turning left downwind 17, it's Chester.
Good. Now, when you were a little girl and we were in Texas and I was learning to fly in a modern version of this, my instructor was the definition of an A.
You guys down there over Chester yet?
Sorry, say again?
Who's finally?
We are on a left downwind for 14, or excuse me, 17 here, Chester.
Sorry, I was just saying, is there smooth finally?
I'm not sure.
I don't know what that guy's saying. Do you know what he's saying?
Nope.
Okay, so here we're going to go ahead and pull carb heat. So just like before here, we'll start bringing our power. Why don't you go ahead and reach down and start turning this so we can start moving that knob.
So going all the way down?
Yep. Kind of do it. You don't have to do it like in a quick thing. You just kind of just gradually start rolling it along. Because you see, as you do that, it pitches up, right?
Yeah.
So we'll just kind of bring in less power. Okay. We'll make a turn to the left here. So you can go ahead and take care of the turn. Don't worry about that for a second. So just turn to the left. Okay, and watch your speed here. Make sure we don't get slower than 60 here.
Chester traffic, calling 9, thank you, it's 5 miles on the 45, left downwind, 17.
Chester traffic, Cubs on the left base for 17, number 1, Chester.
Okay, so just kind of, it kind of wants to go up. That's just because of the trim we have. So you just kind of push it over just a little bit. Remember the altitude we kind of want to be at there. Remember what it was?
1,000?
900.
900, okay.
900. 1,500 RPM here is pretty good. Okay. We're doing fine here. We'll go a little less power here so we can come down to 900. Go ahead and make your turn to the left. This is our last turn.
Chester traffic, Cub turning toward final 17, Chester.
Now, Chester traffic, calling 9, thank you, it's 3 miles on the 45, to left downwind, 17, Chester.
I think the guy may have been asking, is there fuel yet? Because the fuel pump wasn't working a couple days ago.
Oh.
Could have been it. Alright, so what we got to do is, see how we're crooked?
Yeah.
We want to come bring the wing down, and then we're going to bring the left rudder. That's going to straighten us out.
Okay.
Alright?
Is it because of the wind?
There's a lot of reasons. Wind is one of them. When we were flying too. Okay, so right now you see the airspeed 60?
Yeah.
Which is fine. Now we're going to stop looking at the airspeed. Now we're judging it by height.
Chester traffic, calling 9, thank you, it's entered a left downwind
Okay,
for 17.
add in a little bit of back pressure here. A little more, all the way back, all the way back, all the way back. Yep, you're good. All the way back. That's pretty good. The only thing what we needed to do there is we just needed to add back pressure a little earlier. And that would have made it just a little bit smoother. That's all. That's still good. Alright. Well, that's it for today, so we'll go over and get some fuel here. I got the plane here. I'll taxi us by there.
Chester traffic, Cubs clear of the active.
Chester traffic, calling 9, thank you, it's your left down, 17, Chester.
Okay. Now we do this thing where we lean it out a little bit. About the width of your knuckle. My knuckle, I guess. And then a little power here. What we're trying to do is we have this chemical that we put in the fuel. Helps keep the plugs clean. Because we have an additive that's, well, there's an additive that's put in the fuel beforehand, lead.
The traffic, calling 9, thank you, turning left base for 17, Chester.
And this engine doesn't need the lead. It actually plugs it up. Alright, so now you're going to pull that red knob all the way out. Now you see why you don't want to do that in flight, right?
Yep.
Then we'll look up here to the left. We want to make sure we turn this off so the propeller can't, if we move the propeller, the engine won't start. That's on off. That's it.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. We have a good video here. We'll take a picture of you. Hope I can't do it that way. 1 hour and 20 minutes.